back at elementary school, I've been in the case of being bullied a few times, but it was solved by me talking to some friends that could speak English and communicate in Cantonese with me at the same time. We talked to some deans and we solved the problem, and then later on when I got to middle school and towards the high school years, I was able to communicate with most of the people, so it didn't really feel like we're different, because once we could communicate with one another, it's like we're a pact already. There's really no more bullying in those ages. Yeah, it was great being there. And right now in college, from my point of view, everyone is just the same. Like they share something that makes them friendly or etc. And then it's just a whole different world to me right now. Yeah.
Throughout elementary school, middle school, and high school, I got picked on a lot, but due to my size, it was really hard. But what my parents told me to do was just ignore it, because it'll lead on to something bigger and bigger and bigger. And usually, I didn't know English back then, so it was hard.
Did it work for you when you said you ignored it?
It got me irritated at times, and it got to me. Sometimes it got to a physical point where I had to do something. You know, even if I couldn't communicate, it had to be something physical. Yeah.
So, thank you for sharing. And sometimes we see that when we actually see fights happen, or that was due to not reporting in the first place, because the Asian community tends to say, I can tolerate this. Don't get into trouble, your parents advise you. And then when there are many times that you can't take it anymore, and things got escalated into a higher level. That's why we as educators, that I think we should pay more attention to even the very subtle things that could happen, pressure, being put on our Asian students, as they share this, oh, I just take it, and in one case, so it motivates me to learn more English, to fight back. But as educators, let's think about how we can help ease the situation and teach tolerance to all, not just to tell these students, that's okay, tolerate it, or learn more English. But as a society, as a school community, what can we do more? Today, we really thank these people because we only scratched the surface. Very little time is allocated. I think we can take a couple questions, and then Lindsay is already giving me the cue. Okay. I saw your hand 1 and 2.
Yeah, thank you very much. First, congratulations for your achievements, and second, thank you very much for coming to our college. I am teaching mathematics in this college, and so it is also a pleasure to see people doing mathematics and computer science. And my question, based on your experience, and this especially to Mr. Lee, how would you compare the teaching of mathematics in high school in this country with the teaching of mathematics in high school in China? And more than how would you compare teaching of mathematics in the city with teaching of mathematics in Beijing? Because I understood that you were in high school there and also here.
I did go into a math education for my doctoral study, but definitely I feel I personally have both sides experience as a teacher, as a student, so I will incorporate more engaging activities, interesting questions into my classroom. And this is also like in China, we often sit with your desk, that's it. And we sit in the same classroom for the whole day. We're waiting for the teacher to come in. But in America, we go to different classrooms. That's why the things I'm working on now is to prepare more interesting and very engaging, high-level cognitive demand questions for my students.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Also, the gentleman had a hand raised also.
I'm Dr. Fuchs from the Master of Science in Education department here at MCNY. And I happen to be also one of the persons, the same as Dr. Sabanian, who likes mathematics, the same as all of you. And first of all, I want to commend you for having overcome all the difficulties of immigration, absorption, and become a real success in America and a role model for lots of Asian Americans. Even though after having listened to Dr. Teranash's this morning, I don't know to what extent you are really representative of the whole population at large. Like, for example, all the four of you are males, and all the four of you happen to be interested in mathematics and computer science, and so on and so forth. But that being said, and I too had to experience, the difficulty with immigration, absorption, and as you hear from my accent, I had it a couple of times to go through education in different languages and so on. So I'm interested if you can compare very quickly the two models, one being the ESL and the other one being, the English secondary language or ELL. How do you feel? Which model is the most effective, based on your experience, to facilitate the integration into the education system for new immigrants?
ESL versus bilingual?
Bilingual. I say ELL. I mean bilingual. Yes, I apologize.
I can speak on that. I personally feel like when I moved to this country, I almost finished high school, 12th grade in China, so I know all those content knowledge in chemistry, physics, biology, mathematics, even up to calculus, as I mentioned earlier. But the only problem is I don't understand what is derivative. What's the language, those terminologies in English. But if someone can speak my language, just tell me derivative is 求导. Okay, so I know how to do that. That's also why initially I decided to become a mathematics teacher, because I view mathematics as a new language, universal language with the symbols. But after I took an education course called Teaching Reading and Writing Across the Curriculum, I realized math is not just about doing numbers. So that's something I think bilingual education can help you most helpful in the content area, but definitely not in the language improvement.
Okay, we take one more question. I think okay, thank you.
Okay. My name is Deborah White, and I'm a fairly new adjunct faculty here at Metropolitan College of New York, and I graduated from Brooklyn College. My question is, when you got to college, did you feel prepared? Because I also had the same perspective that you were all success stories, and whatever you did to navigate the system worked for you, and I'm thinking, what could we learn from individuals who did not succeed, who have not yet graduated and maybe have dropped out? But what I want to know from you, when you got into college, did you feel like, I'm ready, until you got into that first course or first classroom and then realized, and I can tell you all college students after those first couple classes realized they are not ready. But did you feel ready?
When I first got into college, I felt ready, yeah. But then then towards the middle of the semester, when the professors like the way they do things is different from high school. They don't really tell you anything. You have to find out online yourself throughout emails, Blackboard, and stuff like that. And during that process, I really found myself being behind, because I'm not used to doing all of this online and just gathering information from other students too. And that's the point where I got hit a little, but I'm still doing great right now. Yeah.
Any other comments?
Well, when I entered college, I thought I could take it, it seemed like an easy thing. But after a few days after, I saw the workload, it was incredibly huge. Every week, lab reports. And in high school, they didn't grade lab reports or anything, and in college, I was surprised, oh, they're going to be grading our lab report, so we can't really we have to be perfect on it, you know? And that was a really shock.
Thank you.
I have something to add. And another thing I found out about college is that in high school, when they teach you something, even though you make mistakes and stuff, you have a chance to improve. But as of now, in my anthropology class, I've done informative speaking and persuasive speaking. I've got critics from my professors, but after that, there wasn't any chance given to improve. So we're stuck with the grade that we first, the first try.
I think we have time later on for you to ask questions and have.
My very short question is really to you, Pat. Why is it, I'm just curious, as someone in the back of the room said, it's all wonderful, accomplished young men here. How were girls asked to participate in this? I'm just wondering, why is it that there are 4?
I'm sure there are also very successful young ladies in the back. Maybe later on we can speak to them as well. We want to thank these 4 young gentlemen making their experience public to us. Some of them very personal, but it certainly teaches us how to interact and help our youngsters. I also want to take the last opportunity to do a little advertisement for the Department of Education. The Office of English Language Learners right now offers College Now program on Saturdays. We have programs free at 8 college campuses. They are open to high school students, grades 9 through 11. Sometimes we go up to 12. So these are classes being taught by the New York City Public School teachers working with college counselors. So this is a wonderful opportunity. If you are a teacher or a guidance counselor in the high school, please speak to me later on, because we do want to give this opportunity to as many students as possible. So once again, let's thank all these wonderful gentlemen.